back to being Toastmaster. This introduction is for Arlinda Smith. And this speech is from the Successful Club series, which is a set of presentations addressing the subject of quality club meetings. Members learn about the skill and standards they must strive to achieve for their club to be successful. Closing the sale focuses on those critical final moments of a club salesman that determine whether a guest will decide to join. One of the objectives will be discussing the benefits of joining Toastmasters. Arlinda has been an active member of our club for 8 years. She enjoys being Vice President of Education because she likes helping the meetings run smoothly. Please help me welcome Arlinda Smith with Closing the Sale. Closing the Sale, Arlinda Smith.
Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, if you remember the last time I gave a module, I talked about how to bring people in. Well, now we have our guests in, and we have to talk about how to close that sale and get more members for our club. You've all heard we are all salesmen in some respect, and that's true about every single one of us. To have excellent Toastmaster meetings, we have to have at least 20 members. That way we have 20 different inputs from 20 different personalities, and it really helps the meeting go along smoothly in many ways, including taking on the roles that we have, including many different attitudes that we have. First, we're going to go over meeting standards. It's important that our meetings begin and end on time because Toastmasters are busy people, and many of us have to run out after the meeting to go to work. Participants arrive early and are prepared, so we need to make sure. Keegan got here 5 minutes early, and I was able to go over being an odd counter with him, and then Carol Sue came and did it again, and he got it. That's wonderful. He's one of our first timers today. Club officers will fulfill their responsibilities, any responsibility that a club officer has, like it was my responsibility to go over that with Keegan this morning. The meeting proceeds at a good pace. We want to make sure we get started at 7 o'clock and the meeting goes along in a good pace so that we can get all of our speeches and evaluations and everything in that has to be in the meeting. The members are enthusiastic because enthusiasm is contagious. So if we have a guest and we're all enthusiastic, then hopefully our guest will be enthusiastic too, and that will end up being a new member for our club, which will help everybody. And every project is a manual speech. The reason we have manual speeches is because Toastmasters tells us what we should be doing when it comes to practicing our communication and leadership. And if we do our manual speeches, then all of our members can look at you and see what you're doing. And also it helps with our evaluations. That's another way that we learn as Toastmasters. When we work as a team to maintain all of these standards, our meetings become more enjoyable and more visitors become members. Now, once that we've done that, once that we have maintained these standards, then we're going to work towards a win-win situation when we close the sale. We always want it to be win-win. And in a win-win situation, we get a new member for our club, and our member is able to work through Toastmasters with our team and get what he or she wants out of the meeting. And that's a win-win. A win-lose is when we get a new Toastmaster member and all their different attitudes and everything that goes along with that, and their input. It all adds to a better meeting. But the lose part is we don't provide good mentorship, or the new Toastmaster doesn't get what he or she wants, and so they leave. So that doesn't help us out at all, right? A lose-lose is when the visitor walks out and doesn't join our club. He loses out on the wonders of Toastmaster and everything he can learn, and we lose out on the new member, a new member, and we don't have a productive, long relationship and more pleasant meetings. Now we're going to discuss the benefits, because we should be talking to prospective members about what their benefits are if they join our club. I'm going to give you some examples first. One could be improved speaking abilities. You learn to get all those ums and ahs out of your speech. How many of you, and I know I do, listen to talks on the television, and you pick up those ums and ahs just like that, don't you? How about developing excellent business speeches or presentations, and that's under leadership development. How to conduct a training session, or even how to organize a friend's birthday party, because we're all here for different reasons. Not every Toastmaster is here because of a job. Some Toastmasters are here because they want to better their personal life, and that's good too. Better social skills. You get to come and you get to improve your one-on-one communication with your fellow Toastmasters. You get to improve your communication in front of a group, or you get to improve your impromptu communication, such as when you go to a meeting or you meet somebody at a party and you have to talk to them and be able to talk about nothing or something, right? Okay, Pam, can you give me a benefit Toastmasters has given to you? One benefit.
I think the most important thing that's happened for me is that I'm able to be comfortable in almost any kind of a situation, even if I'm called up and asked to do something that maybe I'm not necessarily prepared for, but it gives me the ability from some of the things I've learned to take a deep breath and talk my way through it.
All right, how about you, David? One thing that you've learned from Toastmasters.
Well, I'd just say in the big pictures, confidence, getting up in front of a group of people and speaking in a way that I feel I can be effective and that the audience will actually enjoy the speech that I'm giving.
All right, and how about you, Jean? One more. One benefit from Toastmasters.
Well, I think that Pam and David spoke about some of the benefits that I've experienced. Also, putting together a speech at a fairly short time, being able to come up with material and present it to the club in a fairly short time.
Yes, Toastmasters has definitely helped me be able to focus. Focus on a speech and focus on material. And it's helped me keep my shyness at bay, because I can be a little shy sometimes. Not so much anymore. Greater self-esteem is our last point. You have more self-confidence standing up in front of a group. You have more self-confidence accepting criticism, as we do when we have our evaluations. It's good for you, because now people can say things about your speech and you don't have to take it to heart. You can just accept it. Just accept it. Now I have passed out a sheet on closing that sale. Everybody look on your sheet about closing the sale. Because after discussing all your benefits, and each of us will have different benefits to discuss to the prospective member, We need to close the deal in a win-win manner. So here are 5 approaches that may be used to effectively close the deal. And guess what? They're in an anagram called CLOSE, or close the sale. This might help you, that's why I gave it to you. The first one is compare. Remind your prospect that for only a few dollars a month, you get to come to Toastmasters at least once a week, and you get to practice your communication and leadership in a workshop environment. And that is against another program out there, compared to another program that gives you a 3-day training program, and it's worth hundreds of dollars to you. So coming out here on a weekly basis to practice Toastmasters at a fraction of the cost is a good close. Next one is lose. How many of you have closed with, what do you have to lose? Well, in Toastmasters, if the prospect doesn't join, they can't lose their fear of public speaking, can they? And we lose because we don't have a new member of our club. Opinion. You can say, based on everything that we've discussed, do you think it sounds like you could benefit from Toastmasters? What are your thoughts? And you can always come back on those thoughts to close your sale. Story. One of the most powerful closing techniques in Toastmasters is using a personal story from your Toastmaster group. I have one. Remember Eric?
Yeah.
Eric who just left, wasn't he wonderful? I just loved Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Who was here? How many of you were here when Eric first came? I mean, when he left, he had gained self-confidence. He had been the president of our club. He didn't have so many ahs and ums in his speech as he did at first. He wasn't putting his hands in his pockets as much. He still did that sometimes, and he tended to lean on the lectern, which he wasn't doing as much, but he still had some of that hands in the pockets and leaning on the lectern. That's one very good example of what Toastmasters can do for you. Examples. Give your prospective client or Toastmaster different things they can expect, so they have something to look forward to. You want them to look forward to coming to the meeting and being a Toastmaster. Sign up today. Go get your new member kit next week. And then they'll send you your Toastmaster magazine. If you could show them these things, that would be wonderful. In the meantime, you get to practice table topics, take on a meeting role like the vote counter or the ah counter, or you may be able to time speeches or be a grammarian. And pretty soon you'll be able to give your icebreaker speech as Keegan's icebreaker speech is coming up, right Keegan?
Yes.
And that's when we get to learn all about Keegan. And you'll get a mentor. Has Condon given you a mentor yet, Keegan?
No.
Well, we'll see that he gives you a mentor to help you along your way as a Toastmaster. The Vice President of Membership is a great help and asset. So after one of us or two of us has talked to the prospective member, and gone through everything we're supposed to go through, and they're excited about becoming a Toastmaster, we make sure they get over to Conda, who's our Vice President of Membership. And guess what Conda's job is to do? That's right. Conda's job is to remind them that they'll get a new member kit and a Toastmaster magazine. And in our club, they get a Toastmaster pin and they get some kind of a black bag or something to carry their material in. filling out your application. Everybody please take your application in hand. And I do want to say this, if you can take it with you at the end of this meeting if you want to, or you can leave it here on the table. Go down to the bottom. It would look like this down at the bottom. New member fee is $20. California clubs at 7.75% tax, it's $1.60. Put your date in next. It is March of 2014. And check off March. Over to the right, you see your fee. It's $6. So $6 will go into that next slot up there. You'll have $20, $1.60, and $6. Add that up, you have $27.60, and that goes down in the bottom where it says Club Dues Worksheet, $27.60. Your new club member fee, which pays for your bag and your pen and your paperwork, is that same $6. And your total is $43.60. If you have any questions, you can ask Ken after the meeting. Also, you have a new member kit preference. For us, it's always English because we have people who come in who are ESL and need practice on their speaking ability in English. But you have to turn it over and you have to fill out the name of the person, who was the sponsor, who brought them to the meeting, and it's never over. You can never turn it in. You collect a check, but you have to have it signed here. Always put in new member. If it's reinstated, renewing, or dual, let Ken take care of that for you, or transfer. Conclusion. Let's all have a high level of enthusiasm out at our meetings. The number of benefits we can get are great, but your enthusiasm about the program is our strongest point at all. So please, let's have some win-win situations for our club and bring in some new members. Thank you.